Tonight on WTOP-10 Nightly News, another winter storm is heading to central New York.
And a Cortland man is charged with murder after a car crash.
But first, Mayor Billy Barlow urges Oswego residents to go to the Blizzard Buck sale this Thursday.
WTOP-10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP-10 Nightly News. I'm Matthew Rivenburgh.
And I'm Jolie Santiago in for Reagan LePage.
If you're looking to lighten the inflation weight off your pockets and support local businesses, Mayor Billy Barlow may have an event for you. Oswego Mayor Billy Barlow took to Twitter today, reminding people to go to the Blizzard Buck sale happening later this week at West 1st Street. According to a press release, Blizzard Bucks is a buy one, get one free coupon program where residents will receive $50 in Blizzard Bucks gift card for $25.
These coupons can be used in local restaurants and retailers. According to the statement, this sale is designed to incentivize residents to shop locally. So if you're interested, grab your wallets and rush to Oswego's Visitor Center on Thursday, March 2nd.
SUNY Oswego has received a $3.5 million grant from the U.S. Department of Education to address needs in the field of school psychology. The grant looks to bring racial and gender diversity to the field of school psychology. The grant also provides incoming psychology students with full tuition scholarships and a fully funded internship in the Syracuse School District with a chance for an immediate placement for a job there.
Today, the SUNY Oswego State Employees Federated Appeal, also known as SAFA, began taking orders for their annual spring flower sale. The spring bulbs are supplied by Chuck Hafner's Farmers Market and Garden Center. Orders are due March 10th and pickup will take place on April 5th. All proceeds benefit the United Way of Greater Oswego County.
This afternoon, the Oswego box office announced that it is suspending all athletic ticket sales. The issue is being addressed. All operations, including athletic tickets, have been suspended until further notice. Updates on the issue will be made at OswegoLakers.com.
Police arrested a Utica man after he fought his neighbor with a machete and then got into a standoff with Utica police on Friday. The fight started when Nada Revic showed up at his downstairs neighbor's house and started to threaten the residents. 28-year-old Salman Nada Revic was arrested outside an apartment on the 600 block of Plant Street.
A Cortland man has been charged with manslaughter after crashing into a utility pole and killing a 50-year-old woman. 49-year-old Ergado Rosario of Cortland was taken to the hospital for serious injuries along with two other passengers present in the car. Police say Rosario is also being charged with operating a motor vehicle impaired by drugs and is currently being held in the Cortland City Jail.
Moving on to weather, if last week's snow was too much for you, you may not be happy with the weather conditions tonight and much of tomorrow. Winter weather alerts have been issued for central New York, warning strong winds and heavy snowfall. According to New York State Governor's Office, up to a foot of snow could drop across central New York beginning tonight through Tuesday.
Our Storm Team 10 meteorologist Samantha Karlsson has more on that. Samantha, what exactly can we expect here in Oswego?
Hi, yes. So right now we are under a winter weather advisory, and as well as parts farther out west, like near Utica, are under a winter storm warning. But exactly how much snow we're going to get and if winter is going to hold on throughout this week, I'll let you guys more after the break. For now, back to you guys at the desk.
Coming up later tonight, a new bill could change how Disney World operates.
And more information on the student loan forgiveness battle.
All this and more after the break.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No, but you've got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
Roll it. Jill told me it was Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
Al Roker. Meteorologist Samantha Karlsson, and as I said before, Oswego is under a winter weather advisory, and as we move off to the west near Utica, there is a winter storm warning for those areas as you do head west. So just keep that in mind if you're traveling out tonight into tomorrow, as it will last throughout around 6 p.m. tomorrow, so beware of the hazardous winter weather conditions if you are heading out within the next 24 hours. As of right now, the current conditions outside Oswego, the snow has started to fall. It's been falling for about an hour or so with temperatures around 28 degrees. You're definitely going to need that winter coat again if you're heading outside tonight or into tomorrow morning. And even though there are light winds, you will still need that jacket and need to bundle up. As you're heading out throughout the day tomorrow, 34 degrees by 9 a.m. and temperatures steadily rising throughout the day. As temperatures rise, the snow will turn into an icy mix first around late afternoon and finally turning into rain before it ends in the evening. Now looking ahead, if you do love snow, I absolutely love snow, I love sledding, it looks like your best chance would be tomorrow morning just before it does turn into an icy wintry mix. And heading throughout the day tomorrow afternoon and even into Wednesday morning, it's not as sleddable snow, I should say. So looking ahead into the week, we do have some snow, rain chances all the way through the weekend and even another possible snowstorm on Friday. Don't know how much yet, but we'll keep that posted and keep an eye on it. Back to you guys at the desk.
All right, Sam, thank you. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has just signed a bill into law giving him new power over Walt Disney World. The legalization allows DeSantis to pick the 5 new members on the board, as well as restrict the resort's use of eminent domain. Now Disney can no longer think about building things such as their own airport.
The corporate kingdom finally comes to an end. There's a new sheriff in town, and accountability will be the order of the day.
Walt Disney World Resorts president says the company is ready to work with this new framework. If you have federal student loan debt, keep an eye on Tuesday's arguments at the Supreme Court.
2 cases challenging President Biden's plan to cancel some of the debt for millions of borrowers will be brought before the justices. Karen Kafa has the latest.
In limbo for months, President Joe Biden's federal student loan relief plan will have a turn before the U.S. Supreme Court Tuesday. Last August, Biden unveiled a sweeping plan to forgive up to $20,000 in federal student loan debt for borrowers whose income was less than $125,000 a year.
All this means people can finally crawl out from under that mountain of debt to get on top of their rent and their utilities.
Supporters lauded the move as a big step forward to ending a college debt crisis compounded by the COVID-19 pandemic. And the Biden administration said among borrowers no longer in school, nearly 90% of relief dollars would go to those earning less than $75,000 a year. Republican critics called it political landing as the 2022 midterm elections entered the home stretch and argued writing off an estimated $430 billion in repayments should get congressional approval. In December, the Supreme Court agreed to take up 2 challenges to the plan, including one from 6 GOP-led states, Nebraska, Arkansas, Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, and South Carolina, while keeping a block imposed by an appeals court last November in place. Millions of borrowers have been notified they're approved for debt relief. No debt has been canceled yet. The Biden administration's case leans on the post-9/11 HEROES Act of 2003, which granted the U.S. Secretary of Education authority to make changes to the federal student loan program during national emergencies. But the White House intends to end the COVID-19 national emergency on May 11th, which may make that argument more challenging. In Washington, I'm Karen Kaifa.
The outcome of these cases will put thousands of dollars in repayment relief at stake for some individual borrowers.
The death toll is rising following a shipwreck in the rough seas of southern Italy carrying migrants. 63 migrants are confirmed dead and more missing after the wooden boat sank on Sunday. However, 80 people were rescued. Migrants from Afghanistan, Pakistan, Somalia, and Iran were on board the vessel, which departed from the city of Izmir.
The G20 meeting held over the weekend ended with all but 2 countries condemning Russia's unprovoked offense in Ukraine. As John Larink reports, as Russia accuses the West, the U.S. continues to support Ukraine. The Kremlin is accusing the West of
The Kremlin is accusing the West of trying to destroy Russia.
They have one goal: to break up the former Soviet Union in its main part, the Russian Federation.
During an interview with Russian state TV, Russian President Vladimir Putin said the goal of leading NATO countries is to, quote, inflict a strategic defeat on us so that our people suffer.
How can we, under these conditions, not take into account their nuclear potential? They supply Ukraine with weapons worth tens of billions of dollars, because this is participation in the usual sense.
Speaking of participation, U.S. officials say they are confident China is considering sending lethal aid to Russia in its war against Ukraine.
Beijing will have to make its own decisions about how it proceeds, whether it provides military assistance. But if it goes down that road, it will come at real cost to China.
As the Russian invasion of Ukraine enters its 2nd year, President Joe Biden's administration's stance on the issue is clear.
We're not going to stand by and allow one country to roll over another country and try to wipe it off the mat. And we're going to build and have built a coalition of more than 50 nations to resist that and help the Ukrainians defend their own territory.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Iran's leaders have not yet decided whether to resume their weaponized program. Up next on WTOP-10 Nightly News, the housing market is starting to show some promise.
And if you have a fever and cold, you may not have to see a healthcare provider to find out if it's the flu or COVID-19.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Shine on that boy.
Look at the bling. Look at do we got a diamond tester on?
Yeah, that's getting bad. Yep. 10 out of 10 recommend on Yelp.
We're going to the playoffs.
I can't believe I missed that.
Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone.
What? I should take your phone away.
No. I'll call for a ride.
Hey, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine.
I'm gonna need that back.
No.
Kevin!
Welcome back to WTOP-10 Nightly News. Good news for the housing market. Analysts were less surprised after pending home sales climbed more than 8% from December to January. The reason for the increase is likely because mortgage rates fell during the time after peaking at more than 7%. Although there is improvement showing in the struggling sector, the current monthly payment on average house is about 45% more than it was just a year ago.
A new study from the Journal of the American College of Cardiology shows stem cell therapy can reduce the risk of heart attack and stroke in severe health failure patients by 58%. The procedure involves adult stem cells with anti-inflammatory properties from bone marrow injected into an inflamed heart. The study is being called the largest clinical trial to date involving stem cell therapy for heart failure.
A new at-home test to identify COVID-19 and the flu has been authorized by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. In today's Health Minute, CNN's Mandy Geither has more on what you need to know about the test.
For what the FDA says is the first time ever, the green light was given to an at-home self-collected nasal swab test that can determine if you're suffering from COVID-19 or the flu in about half an hour.
You can purchase this test over the counter, where during the flu season, you have these upper respiratory systems. You don't know if it's COVID or if you don't know it's the flu. This is a great way for a person to be able to tell.
The test is able to identify a negative result for influenza A with more than 99% accuracy and a positive result with more than 90% accuracy. It's 100% accurate for negative COVID-19 samples and more than 88% accurate for positive results. There weren't enough influenza B cases for the company to do real-world testing for that strain, but in lab studies, it caught nearly 100% of negative cases.
If you have this test and you're able to say, okay, this is flu, then you can get appropriate treatment for flu, or you can help to prevent the spread of flu. As opposed to if it is COVID, you can get appropriate treatment for COVID and go into quarantine or isolation.
The company's CEO told USA Today that a U.S. price tag and release date will be announced at a later date. People who have flu or COVID-like symptoms but test negative may have a different respiratory infection and should get follow-up care. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The test is FDA authorized for anyone 14 and older for self-collection, or an adult can give it to a child age 2 or older.
Last year, Adidas dumped Kanye West and his once hugely popular Genese brand clothing and sneakers over anti-Semitic remarks. But the controversy has seemingly created high demand for the shoes. Yeezy sneakers are currently among the top 3 sellers on online retailer Impossible Kicks. The CEO says demand has surged 30% since November, and some pairs of the shoes are now going for nearly $400.
Today is February 27th. It is the anniversary of when Pokemon first came out in the 90s. The company is celebrating by announcing the re-release of the original cards, unveiling trailers to a new Netflix show, and introducing a new game called Pokemon Sleep. Additional information about today reveals will be announced at the Pokemon World Championship in August. Coming up in sports, Thomas Tallarino has the latest.
Thomas, can you give us a quick preview?
Thanks, guys. When we come back, we got breaking news about the men's basketball team. Also, how many playoff games are there this weekend in Oswego? Find out after the break.
Welcome back to Major Discussions.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
Welcome back to WTOP-10 News. I'm Tommy Tallarino with your Monday Night Sports Report. Starting our sports report tonight with some exciting news. After winning back-to-back SUNYAC titles, it was just announced this afternoon the Oswego State men's basketball team will host the first round of the Divisional III basketball championship this Friday and Saturday. The other three teams that will be coming to town are Albertus Magnus, John Carroll, and Marymount. The first game Friday will be Albertus Magnus and John Carroll at 3:15. The Lakers will follow that night against Marymount at 5:45. Congratulations to men's basketball on hosting this. Sliding over to the ice now, the Oswego State men's hockey team punched their ticket to the SUNYAC finals last Saturday with a 4-1 win against Buffalo State. The Lakers will take on their rivals SUNY Plattsburgh for the SUNYAC championship in a whiteout rematch. This will be the third SUNYAC championship between the two teams in the past decade, with them battling it back in 2013 and 2017. Puck drop is scheduled for 7 p.m. Friday, and go Pack the Deb as they look to take home the SUNYAC championship for the first time since 2014. Over to the volleyball court now. SUNY Oswego's club and intramurals have taken part in numerous games, matches, and tournaments. The Oswego women's and men's club volleyball teams are preparing for a very special tournament this April. Both teams will be going against the best club teams in the nation. Jolie Santiago reports.
Oswego State's women and men's club volleyball teams are headed to Kansas City for the NCVF National Championship Tournament. I watched as the women's club team practice with President Abby Walker and many of the men's club members.
It's a 3-day tournament, so it'll take a lot of grit and a lot of perseverance through all 3 of those days. But as long as everyone's working together, I really think that that's the main thing. Like, as long as we can all work as a cohesive unit, that's so important for volleyball. Because there's 6 people on the court, you can't do it as an individual. We have a GoFundMe started. It's just done through a different app so that we actually get all of the proceeds. So anyone who wants to can help donate to that to help support us in our lodging fees and our flight fees, everything like that, so that we can get out there and represent Oswego at the national level. So we're fundraising through our bowling fundraiser that we're hopefully going to have set up soon. We're also going to looking into doing a youth clinic with some of our community members so that our team members can help teach the youth in Oswego and Fulton surrounding areas to help build them up and help build stronger programs.
The men's team and their president are very excited.
I've been on a bunch of different teams throughout my time playing volleyball. This has definitely been my favorite. The men's club volleyball team, we're going to have fundraisers with Mix, Fajita Grill, Juan Zones, and other places like that. Keep an eye out for us.
For some players, this is their first time experiencing a national tournament.
I'm excited for nationals, but I'm also really nervous because, like you said, it's my first time. So I'm excited to see the competition.
but I'm excited.
I think because I'm with such a good group of men and they're super supportive, I'm actually really excited for this opportunity. Playing's fun, but I think just bonding with the team as a whole is what I'm most excited about.
Oswego wishes them luck. Reporting from Sweatman Gymnasium in Marano Campus Center, I'm Jolie Santiago. Back to the desk.
WTOP-10 wishes the best of luck for their tournament this April, and we hope they bring home some hardware for Oswego. Back over to the ice now. The Syracuse Crunch shut out the Toronto Marlies 1-0 last night. The win advances the Crunch to 25-19, 4-3 on the season. Syracuse also takes a 6-game season series against Toronto, a 3-2-1 record. The Crunch scored the only goal of the game 8:26 into the first period of the man advantage. Gabriel Dumont was down low in front of the net to redirect a left point shot from Darren Radish. Dumont now has goals in back-to-back games. The Crunch return home to the host, the Cleveland Monsters, on Wednesday. Over to the Diamond now. The Oswego State men's baseball team falls to the 9th-ranked Baldwin-Wallace University in back-to-back games this weekend, losing 5-12 Saturday and 6-7 in extra innings Sunday. The Lakers were led by Julian Drew in the first game with a 2-for-4 outing and an RBI. In the second game, outfielder Tim Schnedo hit 2 runs in, along with catcher Colin Williams adding 2 as well. The Lakers will travel to Winchester, Virginia to participate in the Mr. V Memorial Classic at Bridgeforth Field, Jim Barnett Park, hosted by Shenandoah University this Saturday. Rangers welcomed the LA Knights last night to their home ice, and the Rangers, man, this was an offensive showing. We have Vincent Trocheck. He gets a goal. That's 2-0 Rangers early on in the second period. But wait, he's not done tonight, folks. He's going to get this puck again. He's going to skate all the way down into the point, slapper, top shelf, where mama hides the good stuff. That's a 3-0 lead for the Rangers. Jonathan Quick's going to exit the game. But the Kings, Matt Roy, he's going to score on the power play goal right here. Gets it right past the crouch block. Igor just couldn't do anything about it. But then the Rangers, they're going to answer back, though. Artemi Panarin, the bread man, he's earning his bread, man. Slides it right past the goalie here. He gets it. That's a goal for him. He's top of the NHL in goals scored. Rangers, they're not done, though. Mika Zibanejad, he's going to add the 5th goal of the night right here. Slapper, one-timer goal. How are ya? Rangers, they're going to win this one 5-2. What a night for the Rangers as they lost they lost the last game Saturday and just bounced back right there. Great job by the Rangers. That is all for our show tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in to WTOP-10 News. Stay tuned for Question Mark and the interview show.
Have a good night.
The Kinda Late Show with Chloe and Anna. Like licorice, Twizzlers, absolutely nasty. The thought of turkey is just nauseating. I think you're wrong, is what I think. You think I'm wrong a lot of times. I do think you're wrong a lot.